Alright, so it's been a little while since we've been here. So I figured we'd have another one of these after stream episode things. So we haven't been here for a while because the guy that was supposed to be building my building over at the other place, which is right over there, is kind of missing. I haven't seen him in like a month. And so I was waiting, giving him time to sort out whatever he needed to sort out. Figured he'd be back. And he never got back. So XAR offered to come on and build me a building. And I told him that was fine. I had already picked out a place. I was getting ready to do this myself. And so he built us this little shack here. And then decided to go and loot all the things from all the GT forts he could find. So we have all kinds of material. We've had a couple live streams, if you might have missed them, where we had set up our crucible with our my alloy system here, which is not working currently, and making all kinds of things for that. And we had another one after our second building got built. This is my factory. You can tell it's my factory because it has my welcome sign on the wall. Don't do that. Don't use the word to turn off a burning box. It never ends well. But it will work. And so we set up a low heat extruder so we can make pipes, which is what I'm doing currently. And then, without me revealing too much here, we also set up a crusher. So you can, I'll show you here what the setup is. We have 2 bronze boilers, just standard bronze boilers, standard solid fuel burning boxes, using 3 small bronze pipes, running into a standard bronze steam engine into the back of our crusher. This will run red, but it will not blow up. And then we have automated water, distilled water coming in, automated fuel coming in, and underneath is automated ash removal. And we also have a capture line for distilled water off of the engine. And then for right now, we have a hopper. This will be changed to a pipe because this is not needed. We didn't have bronze pipes when I set it up. So let's go ahead and set that up now. You can't put the chest underneath because it will not allow the chest to open. The pipe will, but a chest will not open under the machine. So that's what we've been up to in the last few live streams. We also have down here our 2 coke ovens set up, which we made over there. We got a wooden tank for our creosote. We also have an Invar tank. That is for our distilled water, which you can see is pretty good and full. We just have a standard dryer sitting here doing water. Turn it on every now and then. It has the same fuel and ash removal system set up in there. And I can't hit this guy because he's inside the pipes. There we go. Get wrenched. Okay, so now that that distraction is over, I'll show you underneath here how the removal system works. get rid of this visitor. So we have hoppers underneath the burning. Gotta fill in that hole. We have hoppers underneath the burning boxes, which you can just barely make out right there, running into this pipe. This pipe is going to the back of the burning box to fill it. And then this just runs down over here and connects to the dust funnel that is underneath this one. And that will turn all of our dark ash into blocks. So we have 12 blocks of dark ash as of right now. Eventually that will be piped out of there and sent into storage somewhere, but for right now, chest is fine. We did forget to put a roof over top of the dryer. Forgot about the fact that they now blow up. So that was changed as well. Now, today, we are going to hook up these machines. I have already gone ahead and done the basic work here of laying everything out as we are going to have it, minus a couple things, like one custom gearbox, and I want this on this side, that side, and that side. So basically all this is going to do is change the direction of the power. Instead of coming straight out, it's going to send it over to the right there. So now I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it up here, and I need to hook this up, this up, this up, and this up. And then I will also need to run the rest of the lines to everything here in a second. We are going to have this come over and down for our centrifuge. Now, this centrifuge is going to be our regular centrifuge. This is not a sluice juice centrifuge. I'll explain that in a minute. For anybody that doesn't already know, I need that on there for the chest for this one. And currently we're using brown painted stainless steel chests because we have them, but they will be changed out to some easier gotten metal eventually. Right now we're just using them because he got them from loot. Alright, so that is pretty much everything there. Now I just need to run my return lines. So we will have one ran here, and we will have one ran here. And we will have one run right here. And that's all of our return water lines, which will eventually be hooked up. Underneath, I'm going to make some bigger pipes to do so. I'm going to run a larger copper pipe. That way we know we have plenty of room for all of the water to run. But that is a basic setup. So now let me explain what we have going on here. First off, we have a sluice, which is for washing ores, and it will need a water line coming in the top. Regular water or distilled water will work. We will be using regular water, and then it will need a sluice juice pipe coming out of the bottom, which will be going right like that, and I will be hooking to the stainless steel tank that is underneath here. Now, eventually, we will have plenty of centrifuge and drying capabilities that we won't need the tank anymore. It'll go straight into them. But for right now, we're going to use the tank because we're not going to be running it all the time. So the centrifuge and dryer can be doing their job while the sluice is not on. So show you here is basic recipes. You have 900 liters of water. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it is distilled water or regular water, and it doesn't matter if you put in small crushed or tiny crushed or full crushed. It can do both of them, but you get any different variation from 1 to 8 different byproducts. There's only a chance at them, so you have 9 3% chances for each one of these slots. So don't think you're going to get all of this. You're going to sometimes get 1 or 2 or 3 of one of them in there, or 1 of 3 of them, or something like that. Sometimes you'll get absolutely none. There's no guarantee on this. But then there is the sluice juice, which, like I said, we will be running in a dryer, which will give us tiny sluice sand. If you remember a little bit ago, I was out there. There was a second dryer out there that I didn't talk about. That will be for this. We can also run it into a centrifuge. Now, the difference being here that the centrifuge has to be a 64 RU a tick, which means we need either a bronze centrifuge ran at full power. There we go. I got it to stop. Energy in 32, 16 to 64. So you can run a bronze one at full, or you can run a steel one. If I can get this to stop, there we go, which is 64 to 256. Now the thing is, that is the maximum for bronze, the minimum for steel. So therefore, there's no overclocking charge to run it in the steel. So therefore, you can run it at 256 in the steel one for no extra overclocking charges. So that is what we're going to set up. But that'll be in another episode. So the reason why we do this is we get 96% stone dust. Woohoo! It's garbage, nobody cares. But you also get a 1% chance at iron, 1% at copper, 1% tin, 1% zinc, and 1% chromium. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think of all the ores you're going to be washing and all of the sluice juice you're going to be getting, because that's only 100 liters, and you get like 1,000 out of each run. So this adds up. Now, you also have 50 liters of water that comes out as well, which you'll have to deal with, whether you run that back into the sluice or whatnot. Now, for the drying it, it's a little different because you dry it, You get distilled water this time, which will be running into our distilled water tank out there. And you get tiny pile of sluice sand, which that can be ran through a magnetic separator. Now you can also up this to a full dust, or you can even run a full block through a magnetic separator. And this is where you get your 96% stone dust. And if we go back to the regular dust one here, you get a 6.48% chance at iron, 2 of them, a 6.48% chance in neodymium, same for nickel, cobalt, and manganese. Now the big thing here is, if you notice, if you run both of them, you have manganese and chromium along with nickel. That is the 3 elements that you need to mix with iron to make stainless steel. And for anybody that doesn't know already, you're going to be making a lot of stainless steel in GT6. So that takes care of at least a little. I'm not saying it's going to be enough forever, that you're never going to have to go get manganese or chromium, but it will tide you over a bit. So all of our ores are going to be coming down through here and then transferred into this chest. And eventually we will automate this. But right now it's all going to be done by hand. And then the sluice juice will go to the tank. The ores that will be coming out of here then will be coming over to the centrifuge for the most part, which will give us 1 dust and 1 tiny refined pile of something. Now, each ore is different. Some, like this one, which is a weird ore, will give you the exact same thing. But if we go to one like this that has outputs in here, and we take it over to the centrifuge, it will give you 3 different things. Now, there are other options for what you do. Like with this one, you'll see that there is a magnetic separator recipe where if we want hematite and pyrolusite out of it, we can run it in here. We get a 6% chance of both of those, but 18 6% chances. Or we could run it in here, get hematite, magnesium, and pyrolusite guaranteed on a tiny refined pile. So you have your choice here of which one you want to go with. So that is where the ores will go next, is over here to the centrifuge. And then everything will come to the shredder to be turned into dust that isn't already dust. Also, the shredder is your one way of recycling things that will not fit in a crucible other than the large crucible. If you want to build a large crucible, you can do that. Or what we're going to do is we're going to take these steel chests that have 27.5 steel per, which will not fit in a crucible, only hold 16, and we're going to throw them in the shredder and we're going to shred them. And then we'll get the steel dust out of it. So that is our basic ore processing setup. Now, the reason why I put the centrifuge over here instead of over here is that it's going to be used in different ways for different things. Same with the shredder. It's not a direct 1, 2, 3, 4 operation. For some things, that is the way it's going to be, but not for everything. I may, if it ends up coming to it, end up moving this over and put it over here. But for now, this is going to work perfectly fine. And I did forget one thing, and that is my chest on the top. So it's a little different. It outputs to that side for solids, this side for liquids. Input for both is at the top. Now you can actually look in the tooltips if we look up the Centrifuge here, and this is the same for all of them. It will tell you items in top, items out right, fluid in top, fluid out left. Now it says auto beside whichever one it will automatically pull from or send to. Now some machines, we will go to the Sluice here, and if you look at it, items can go in the top or the left, but left is the auto. Items can go out the bottom or the right, right being the auto. Same with the fluids, just in reverse. So if I wanted to run the liquid across rather than top to bottom, I could do so. But that would mean the items would have to be pulled with a hopper out of the bottom and would have to be pushed into the top via a hopper or some other way of pushing and pulling. Hoppers are the basic way of doing so. Now, for anybody that doesn't understand the capturing of distilled water, all of your steam-based machines will give you 80% return distilled water from your steam. So whatever water went in, got pressurized, heated up, and became steam, it's 1 to 300, I think. It actually tells, let's see, it's been a while since I've looked at this, but where is boiler? 1 water, 160 steam. So for every 160 liters of steam, you will get 80% of 1 liter of distilled water back. And we're running 96 through each of these. So we'll get close to half a liter per tick. But it's 80% of what we're putting in, we're going to get back. So it's not a full return system. You do have to feed it. That's why we have the dryer. Now, the dryer with the water may not have to run once we get the sluice going, because the dryer for the sluice juice will be putting out distilled water as well. So we may not need to do too much of the regular water drying. So if y'all have any questions about anything I went over here today, let me know either in the comments or in Discord. The link to our Discord is in the description below. And I will hopefully see you guys at one of the live streams. And I will be back to doing live stream tomorrow, which is going to be Monday or Tuesday. We will see which. It should be on Monday. And as always, have a good day. Don't forget to hit the buttons, do the things. It makes all us streamers happy. Y'all don't need to hear me say it. You hear everybody else say it. So you know what the thing is. And I will talk to you guys next time.